Hey everyone, this is the Knit and Crochet Tiger. Today I wanted to show you how to do intarsia cables. It's very fun, very rewarding, and it takes a little practice. So here it is. Okay, here I am working on a shawl design that I'm currently working on creating. It requires a background of pink with a cable of red. Now to do this intarsia, you need to wrap your yarn around bobbins like I have here, or you can wrap them into tiny balls and have them draped behind your work. You can even make bobbins out of cardboard, cut them in a little square piece and put slits in it to hold your yarn in place, whatever you want to do. I've got bobbins. So you let them sit behind you. Now, for this, I'm at a point where I need the cable. So, let's see, my pattern calls for me to slip one stitch to a cable needle. I have a hook here and I need to hold it into the back because I'm making a right leaning cable. Now here I just finished using the pink yarn. As you can see, it just came from this stitch. To switch to the red, I now bring, when I'm working on the right side of the fabric, I always do my color changing in the back of the fabric on the wrong side. You want to put the old yarn that you just used to the front, and then pick up the new yarn in the back. Now you see how they're crossing over now? As I can show you right here, they're crossed over with the new yarn on top, old yarn on the bottom. Okay, now I can cable. I knit 3 in the red. Okay, then with this hook, it's easier for me to put it back up onto the left needle. Make sure that my stitch is not twisted. Here it calls for this to be a pink stitch. So to switch, remember, always old yarn down first, then you pick up the new yarn, cross over the top. See how it's crossed? New yarn is the pink. It's crossed on top of the red. I now purl. The pattern continues on, asks for me to finish this cable stitch with a purl. See, I did 3 red knit and 1 pink purl. Then the next step in my pattern, it calls for purl 3 pink. So 1, 2, 3. Next, the pattern tells me that I need to pass 3 stitches to my cable needle and hold front. So there's the 3. Oops, split the yarn. You don't ever want to split the yarn. If you split the yarn, take your needle out and put it back into place. Splitting the yarn is a big no-no with knit and crochet. So here we go. Okay, it wants me to purl 1 in pink. Then we put these 3 red stitches back up on the left needle, and it wants me to knit these 3 in red. So remember, put the pink down in the front, pick up the red and cross over the top. Oh. Now we knit these 3 to finish the cable stitch. Now The next, it asks for 5 pink pearls. So, I put the red yarn down first, pick up the pink, and cross over the top. See, the pink is on top. This is the red, the old, and this is the pink, the new. So we cross over, and I purl the 5. Now, let me show you why I have to put down and pick up yarn in this fashion. It's because these are 2 different yarns from 2 different sources. If you don't do this, then you're essentially just making 2 different fabrics at the same time. We don't want that. We want this to be connected into one fabric. So this is what happened with, you see, here, this was the first one that I showed you. The pink crossed over the top, the red was in the back. Then the red was in the back, the red was in the back and the pink was up on top. See right here. Pink on the top. Red in the back. The pink is on top. See how that is? Pink on top, red in the back. Pink on top, red in the back. So this is the red in the back, pink on top. And look, it makes 2 fabrics. Let me show you what happens if you don't. Okay, this next cluster is asking for me to hold 3 stitches to the front for a left leaning cable. It wants me to, even though this is a red stitch, the pattern's asking me for a pink purl. So I'm going to go ahead and purl this. I'm not going to take and do that crossover. I'm just going to put the pink here and pick up the red here. These 3 stitches are going to be red. Okay. Red. 1, 2, 3. Now, let's see what happened here. Spread this out. Look, the yarn's coming off the pink here. It's, I don't know if you could see this, but the pink is not going to be connected to the red here on this row. It's going to wind up leaving a big hole. You don't want that. So let me show you again what that happens. Okay, the pattern wants me to purl this one as a red purl. Then it's going to ask me to do pink. So I'm going to move the red over so that instead of putting it in the front and crossing the new pink over the top, I'm going to put this back where the red is on top and the pink is on the bottom. And my pattern says to purl these 2 pink. And this is what happened. When I come back this way on the wrong side, working this way, when I go to pick up the red, look, it's not attached. There's going to be a big hole between that pink and the red. You don't want that. So that's why you cross over always. Put the old one down in the front, new one in the back. Or you put the old on the bottom and you cross the new over the top. So Let me catch back up with you on the wrong side so we can see what happens coming back. Alrighty, here we are back on the wrong side. Now I've worked up to this point, and now my pattern asks me to knit 2 pink. Alright, now it wants me to change back to red. But this time I'm going to put the pink over to the right side, to my right, and my pattern says knit 1 red, then purl 3 red. 1, 2, 3. Now let's take a look at this real quick. Here I did not use the rule of how to put how to put down the old yarn and pick it up. And look at what happened. There's a big hole here. The 2 stitches are not attached. You see what I mean? It'll make 2 different fabrics. You want to attach them. How do we do the proper? Okay, here we are switching back to the pink. What we do is we put the old yarn down first. Then we pick up the new yarn over the top. Here my pattern wants me to knit 6 pink. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Split the yarn, fix that. Here's 5 and 6. Now it's switched back to the red, so it wants me to purl 3 red. So we put the old yarn down first, pick up the new yarn on top, and then we purl the 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's look at this. Look at how it's twisted together. You see the pink comes up over the red, so it's going to be locked together right here. You spread those out and it's locked together. Here it's going to be locked together because the pink is up on top and the red is down below. Now we're picking up the pink, so we put down the red first. It's hooked on the needle. So we put the red down first, then we pick up the pink on the top. And here we knit 6, we knit 5 pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you see it's locked together. Here's the red coming out underneath the pink. The pink is on the bottom here, red on top. Pink on top, red on bottom. See how that works? Remember to always put down the old yarn first and pick the new yarn up over the top. Do this and your 2 fabrics will be melded together. Happy knitting and crocheting.